Hello, everybody. Thank you so much to Vasilios Filippakis for joining us today, one of the stars of the upcoming series Ride, which is premiering next Sunday on Hallmark Channel. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it does premiere this Sunday, so in 2 days from today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's coming up soon. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This is exciting.
Tell us a bit, what's been the main element in Julian's character and the show in general that fascinates you the most and drew you to join Ride?
Yeah. You know, when I first got the audition for Julian, it was just something different that I haven't seen in terms of a gay love interest. Um, so it was nice to see something outside of the stereotype that we see in a lot of TV that was just so normal and grounded and real. So I really loved that about it. I mean, I also love that it was a cowboy thing. I don't think I ever pictured myself in a cowboy world of any sort. So to get those auditions, it is just fun to, just imagine what it would be like. And, that did translate when I got onto set. We filmed on a ranch. We had a lot of rodeo scenes, and there was like real stunts and bull riding and tricks. There was just so much of a world that I never really knew about that I now got to experience from being on set, which I thought was so fascinating. And it really made me fall in love with it. Really, I'm obsessed.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine that it was like an incredible experience, I guess.
Yeah.
And to all the fans that are looking forward to watch and ride, how would you describe the show if you had just like three words?
Oh, 3 words. That's 3 words. I would say number one, family. Number two, I would say love,
Hmm.
which has a lot more than just the surface love meaning. I think there's a lot of complex love stories that are happening. And number three, I would say complex.
Oh, it will be interesting to see how all this will be developed in the show. And since we know that Hallmark shows and movies always feature some well-shaped characters and also relatable storylines for the audience as well, in your opinion, where are you and Julian most similar as human beings, and where are you two most different? Is there anything you could relate to on a personal level in his character?
Yeah, the journey Julian goes on. It was funny. There was a day on set where I was sitting with the writer, and I was like, and I just said, they say art imitates life. Sorry,
Yeah.
and that really was what was happening for me. There was a lot of things happening in my personal life that were in were being mirrored by Julian, uh, which I thought was so fascinating. It also made things challenging in a way. Um, so there was that element of Julian though that I think I just resonate to. He's very fun loving. He always really does try to see the best and half his glass full, always very optimistic. He's just an overall like giving person, um and who just has such a good heart, and I like to think I do as well. So yeah, I think that's really where we resonated together with.
Beautiful. And on the acting level instead, what's been for you the biggest challenge you experienced in portraying Julian?
I would say the biggest challenges for Julian, and maybe they aren't like a character challenge, but as an actor, we have to prepare our scenes before we get to set. It's not like theater where there's like rehearsals and you have months to prepare. You get your script and they're like, you're on set next week.
Yeah.
So you have to do your work on your own, and that's with a friend or someone you trust. And I found there are things that happen on set. For example, one of my scenes is like, oh, this is actually done on the horses. So now you're horseback riding. I had 1 hour horseback riding lesson before the scene. Not a pro. So to like figure out how to drive your horse, steer your horse, sorry, and then Go through the trees. You'll know what scene I'm talking about when you watch it. Go through this line of the trees while Tuff, my scene partner's horse, kept ramming into mine. So it's like it's not it's the challenge of staying in character while all these outside elements are happening.
And I'm sure it will be like subject of many, many jokes on set, all these
Yeah.
little scenes.
Yeah, no, it was really funny that day. Um, but that is what the challenge is. It's
Yeah,
staying in character with everything else going on around you still.
I'm sure of that. And chapeau to all you actors that actually have to face all these challenges while filming shows and movies and such. And is there anything you can tease us about Julian's journey throughout the whole show? What can we expect from him and his arc?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Julian catches the eye of Tuff, which is it happens in the first episode. I think everyone will see that. So they obviously go on a journey together. Uh, Julian really wants to be the best he can. He's a Bronco rider. He wants to be the best Bronco rider he can. He wants to help support his family back home. He's not like a well-off individual. He really is just there to like put his head down and work, and he does have a good work-life balance. And I think
Yeah.
um that's really important to him, that you kind of have to have both for your happiness. And I think you'll see his hard work in kind of his journey in that and what that looks like for him.
Great. And talking about the environment on set, how would you describe your experience filming Ride? And do you have any fun anecdotes to share with us?
My experience filming Ride was great. I fell in love with the cast. We became, you become friends outside of just being on set. Uh, Me and Tiara, who plays Missy, we became really close because we both are very into fitness. So we'd go take classes together when we were not on filming days, on our days off.
Yeah.
Uh, and staying in Calgary was great. We filmed in Canada, in Calgary, just beautiful landscaping. Yes, it was cold. Come October, it was way too cold. But there is just, it's so nice being around everyone that's there for the same project, and that you do have downtime together. And because you're in a new city, it's not like your close friends are there. So
Yeah.
you're like, do you want to go out for a glass of wine? Do you want to go, do we go do this? So you become friends. And I think that's the best part about set. You create a little family.
Yeah, and that's really beautiful to hear because, as actors, it's not always the case on set that you create such a beautiful family environment. So when you have this beautiful experience, it's even greater and greater.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for that. I know that set can go one of two ways sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, and there is, I've had those other experiences too, where just not everyone meshes, and you're there ultimately for work. So you just have to do your job regardless. But thankfully, that was not Ride. So I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for everyone.
And did you take anything from set to remember this experience as Julian? Any prop or any piece of costume?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things. Like Hallmark was really great with sending us stuff, but we had a little like, our parting gifts. I could show you something actually. Um,
Cool.
Tuff, Jake's character. So Jake made little things for everyone to take home,
That's beautiful.
characters that he drew, which was really sweet. So I have that. I have a dream board, which you can see back there.
Yeah.
Uh, I made 3 years ago. So a lot of the thank you letters and things from the show I've now put on there, just as a daily
Amazing.
reminder that, um, you know, acting is its own thing, and we all work so hard for this dream to happen. And I don't take that for granted. I know that how long I've been working at it and in classes and just putting my head down. And you need so much support behind you. And it can feel really lonely sometimes when you're just auditioning and you don't hear back. And, there's a lot going on. So having those up for me is just a daily reminder of how far
Yeah.
I've come, to just enjoy the days and be grateful to be on set and take things as they come. So that's, yeah, I have those still.
No, that's so true, and you did good in creating this little reminder with all the gifts and letters that you received on set.
Yeah, I love that stuff. It really grounds me, and I
Yeah.
always want to feel that love and gratitude. So I love reading them and seeing it.
Great. And now a little fun question that we always ask to the people we're interviewing, and considering we're talking about Ride, it's on the Ride universe. If you could choose any other character from the show apart from Julian that you would have loved to play if you could, which one would it be and why?
Oh, to play.
Yeah,
Huh, hmm. I would say probably Cash. Uh, I think he has such a dynamic and interwoven plot line, and there's so much to his history and background and character to bring to life. So, Cash.
great, great. It will be interesting to see more of him and know more about his journey and his background as well.
Yeah.
Throwing back instead to the origins of your career as an actor, how did the passion for acting come about in your life?
Honestly, I was 7 and my parents owned a coffee shop at the time, and there was an audition for Oliver Twist, the musical.
Yeah.
And someone brought it in and told my mom, like, hey, I think he should go out for this. And I did. And that was kind of the start of it all. That was my first play. I got
Yeah.
into the play and I never looked back. I have, at that time, I had 3 older brothers. I have a little sister now, but I had 3 older brothers who were all very much into the sports. And I just wasn't that person. I just wasn't that kid. So then this came along and then I just gravitated towards it.
And among all the roles and the projects you had the chance to work on so far in your career, is there any particular one that you're mostly fond of?
I mean, Julian has to be it. It's been
Yeah.
an experience, and I think what this represents for Hallmark and its overall story in the show and what it's a part of. And yeah, like the Bronco riding, all the rodeo stuff, like such a world I would never have imagined myself in. So this definitely takes the cherry, or what is it called, takes the icing on the cake for this one.
Yes, absolutely. And can you tease us anything about your upcoming projects? What are you working on right now?
Right now, there's not much I can say, but there's definitely some things in the works. So stay tuned.
Great. And our last question, if you had to give some advice to young actors or people that want to pursue a career in entertainment in general, what kind of advice would you give them based on your experience?
I would say just don't give up. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, but what's kept me going throughout this whole time is it always made me happy. Like, I didn't mind serving at restaurants because I knew I was going after what I loved. And I was a server for years. And I'd rather be happy than miserable in a job that I don't like. So I just plugged away and put my head down and focused. And my acting school right now, I study at Leslie Kahn here in Los Angeles. They always say, don't quit before the miracle happens. And that's kind of how I feel. You just kind of have to keep plugging away and working at your craft and getting the best that you can. So it's out there. It's possible. I once never thought it was possible, but here we are. So I think just making sure you have that faith that it's going to happen one day and let that drive you.
Thank you so much, Vasilios. It's been incredible to have you here and to chat with you about your work.
Thanks so much for having me. This was great.
Let's remind people that Ride premieres on Hallmark Channel Sunday, March 26th. And we can't wait to see more of Julian and all the characters in the show.
Me too. I can't wait for you to watch.
Yay. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Bye.